So I had a different plan for what I was going to film today. However, that kind of changed because I was just like thinking while I was like getting ready to do this video that I should do something else. And so as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna give 5 tips on how to be confident as someone in the disabled community, as a disabled person. And this started out because, it's Sunday today when I'm filming this, and last night I went out with a friend and we went to like a few bars and I wanted to make a TikTok. And so we did. It wasn't very good because we could not hear the phone music over like the music in the bar. But anyways, this guy noticed and he's like, "Oh my God, are you guys making a TikTok?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so, he started asking me about like my TikTok, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm at 400,000, which is so crazy." Like last week I was at 300,000. So I'm just like, I'm shook. So thank you guys for that. Oh, I showed him the one of like my leg in the freezer, that TikTok, and he was like, "Wow, honestly, I wouldn't have even noticed. You are so confident and I love how you just own it." And I was like, "Thank you." I didn't really think about it. And then, I was thinking about it this morning while I was getting ready and how I get so many comments like that on my TikTok videos. And, I love how confident you are. How does she be so confident? All this stuff. And it's almost like people are surprised that I'm as confident as I am with my leg. And I guess it's not a normal thing. And it sucks that that's not a normal thing. And it sucks that people with disabilities don't feel as confident as normal people. And I want to help change that because I want to normalize people with disabilities, normalize, that kind of stuff, because I feel like everyone deserves a chance to feel their best selves and to be confident in themselves, no matter, what is going on with their body or their mind or anything like that. And so I think it's so important. And, that's really the way that we're going to be able to live our best lives and to, showcase to people that, yeah, like I might be missing a leg, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop loving myself or doing things for myself or being confident in myself because of that. Yeah, so I just wanted to give 5 tips today on how I personally stay confident as an amputee. Feel free to use them, don't use them, whatever. So yeah, let's just get right on into the 5 tips. So tip number one. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know how to do it. One. Okay. So tip number 1, I would say, is to own your disability, whatever your disability is. I have unfortunately been around so many amputees that just get so down and out about their disability. And that might go the same for, any disability you have. I'm just going to be like focusing on amputees because I am one, and that's, what I know. So I always see so many amputees just down and out about their situation. And I'm the kind of person, I do believe in God. I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And I do believe that I am the way I am for a very specific reason. I don't know what that reason is, whether it's to help, normalize the disabled community, whether it's to showcase people with disabilities on, a large platform. I don't know what it is, but I 100% believe that there is a purpose to the way I am, and I cannot change the way I am. I know I will not wake up tomorrow and have 2 legs. And you know what? That's okay. I can't change my situation, but I can change the way I feel towards my situation or how I handle my situation. And I think that more people need to have that mindset, because so many people with disabilities, are always like, oh, poor me. Like, why did this have to happen to me? Like, why did those people get to, be two-leggers? Why do those people get to have, great, happy lives? And I mean, that can go as far as like anything. That could go, oh, poor me. Why don't I have a lot of money? Why didn't I get accepted into the school? Why didn't I get this job? And it all just goes back to your mindset. And that's how you begin to be confident in yourself. I can't change the situation, but I can change how I feel about the situation and my attitude towards the situation. So I'd say number one is just, you gotta own it. You gotta own your disability. And, every morning I wake up, I put on my, yes, Chip, hello. Every morning I wake up, I put on my leg, and I attack the day, no matter what. I don't really go a day without not putting on my leg. It's a part of me, and it's a part of me that I need and rely on. And so, I 100% own it. And anyone that asks, I'm very open and just, yeah, this is how I was born. Like, you have nothing to be ashamed for as a disabled person. Like, you are so beautiful and incredible, and you've got this. Anything you put your mind to, you can 100% do. Number two, the second thing I would say is wear what you're comfortable with. I 100% know that an outfit can literally change my mood. And if I feel good in what I'm wearing, I will just feel 100% better. And I feel like that's so true for anyone, disabled or not, right? If we look good in like an outfit or a dress and like that booty be popping, like we feel good, right? And so we get that, a little bit of like good chemicals in our brain. And that's what you want to build off of. You want to build off those good chemicals that are releasing, and just find, stuff like that to keep releasing those good chemicals, and that will help build your confidence. Obviously, if you're a new amputee or anything like that, you might not want to wear, a mini skirt your first day out or anything like that. And so if, baggy clothes are your thing, that's totally okay. Wear what you are comfortable with, but don't be afraid to try something new every once in a while. I will 100% say I was super into t-shirt dresses. And let me tell you, I love t-shirt dresses, but they literally do nothing for me. Like, I am pretty flat already, and so they just like emphasize my flatness. But I wore them because they were easy, comfy, and all that stuff. And then I started dating Rick, and he's like, maybe you should wear something that hugs you a little bit better. I think it would look really good on you. So I finally did, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, damn, baby got back. Not really, but but like it made me feel good and confident. And so then it made me want to try, new styles of clothing, and maybe some, different types or outfits that I might have never worn before. And, now that I've experimented with it, I'm, pretty comfortable in anything that I wear, whether it be a little black dress, whether it be like a work suit, whether it be a workout outfit, and I feel like clothes can be such a great confidence booster. Like, once you feel good in something, I have those outfits I always go to that I want to wear every single day just because I feel like I look so good in them. And so that will also really help boost your confidence, I feel like, personally. Because girl, once you, or boy, whoever's watching this, once you feel like good in an outfit, you feel like you can conquer the world, right? Exactly. So why wouldn't you want to feel that way all the time? But first, baby steps. This doesn't happen overnight. This just happens a little by little. Like I've slowly started adding to my wardrobe pieces that I, maybe hadn't necessarily worn before, but I thought would look good on me. And then they did look good on me. And I was like, wow, like I could have been wearing this a long time ago and I would have felt really good. So, but start with what you're comfortable with. Like don't rush into anything. If baggy clothes or if low back dresses are your thing, stick with it, go for it, but do not be afraid to try new things, because you never know until you try it, right? Okay, tip number 3, and like this is, I guess, more for like me, but it's really helped my confidence, and that would be to get in shape. When your body feels good and is, you're eating nutritional foods, you're working out, like you just feel good because you like look at your body and you're like, wow, like I did this for myself, like my body looks this way because I put in the work and the effort to make it look good. And, when you're out with people or just out in general, you always want to try to put out the best version of you. And for me personally, that's when I'm in relatively good shape. That's when I'm eating good. I just feel good about my body. And especially with being an amputee, being in shape is really, really important. With how our legs work, if we fluctuate weight too much, we'll have to keep getting new sockets made. And that can be expensive if you don't have insurance. That can be time consuming. It can just be a pain in the butt. And so, when I first get a socket made, I really try to maintain my body in a way that will help me. Now, if you're losing weight and need to keep having sockets made, that's like, you go. Like, I support you 100%. But I, unfortunately, and not that it's bad, but like, I know a lot of amputees that gain a lot of pity weight. And I'm not trying to like sound mean or anything like that, but they gain a lot of weight because they don't feel like they can do anything, or they don't want to do anything because of their amputation or whatever. And so they just sit there and they wallow in their feelings, and they gain weight. And that's what happens when you don't stay physically active or go do things that you enjoy, right? And that is really hard, not only on the body, but because you're an amputee, that's even harder because now your body is having to compensate even more for that. And you're putting more stress on your stump, you're putting more stress on, your heart, because now it's having to compensate for missing a limb. And so it's just like all these things just snowball. And so, I have found that and you don't even have, you guys, you don't have to be like a skinny mini to be in shape, right? Like there are some thick people out there that are in shape, and that is, perfectly fine. But at least they're going for it and they're being, attentive to what they're doing with their body and what they're eating, what they're putting into their body and what they're fueling their body with. And ultimately that will help boost your confidence levels because, after a workout, I just feel so good about myself. Or after I eat a healthy meal, I'm like, wow, that was really healthy. That was really good. And I just feel that for amputees, it's even, more important to be conscientious about our bodies and what we do with them, because, an amputation is nothing, like there's nothing little about this. Like that is a huge change. And, our bodies feel that. And, that's why we get tired when we walk long distances. That's why we have to, take breaks. That's why, some physical activity is strenuous for us. But, the more we do it, the easier it's gonna be, and the more that we get our bodies used to that. So I have found that being in shape has really helped my confidence, and just, helps me feel my best personally. Obviously, I'm not hating on anyone that is not in shape, like not at all. I just, I recommend working out and eating good because your body will thank you for it and you will feel better physically and mentally. So that's that. So tip number 4 would be to try new things. I feel like, so as an amputee, I've done a lot of sports. I've done volleyball, I've surfed, I've done triathlons, I've done, horseback riding. I've done all these things. And I feel like some of the amputees that I talk to are, when you talk about surfing, for example, they're like, oh, no, I just don't know how that would work. So I just don't want to try because I just don't want to be disappointed. Or that seems too hard for me. Like, I just don't see that working for me. And it gets me like angry sometimes because, you never know until you try, and you could find some kind of sport or activity that you love, but you're missing out on because you're afraid of being judged because of the way you do it, or of it not working out maybe the first time, right? Maybe there's something different that you have to do to get it to work. So as an amputee, you become like a little MacGyver. And for horseback riding, for example, I started out riding without my prosthetic. And so I had like a little basket that my stump would go in. I had a strap to keep my stump connected like in the saddle so it wasn't like flying all over the place. And that worked for me and it was great. But then, eventually it wasn't quite working for me and I wanted a riding leg. And I was like, okay, how are we going to make this work? What do I do in riding that I would need a prosthetic to do for me? And, if you need to, consult help. My prostheticists at Baker O&P have been phenomenal, and they have helped me so much in creating my riding leg. Because, I told them, okay, I need to do this, 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 and we brainstormed and we figured it out. And, the first time I tried my riding leg, it didn't work. Right? It didn't work as I wanted it to, and it was bothering the horse and all this stuff. And so we went back to the drawing board and we're like, okay, we liked this, 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 but I didn't like that it did that. So how can we change that? How can we make that work? And then, you know what? Eventually it worked. And now I have a riding leg that I absolutely love and use all the time when I ride. But it took 6 months for us to get to this point. So nothing happens overnight when it comes to this kind of stuff. But if you don't go out there and try, you will never know. You will never know what it could have been. So now here I am working towards the Paralympics. And, what if I decided it was too hard? Or that, maybe, oh, I look funny when I ride. I don't want to be that person. No, screw that. You do you. It does not matter what you look like doing a sport or an activity, as long as you are doing it. And as an amputee, this is so crucial because we will not look like everyone else doing the activity, right? Surfing, I get up on my knees or I get up on my one leg. Riding a bike, I have to take breaks because my leg sweats and it will literally flop on this, I want to say stirrup, but it's a bike pedal. But running, I look different because I have a running leg. I don't have a knee on my running leg, so I swing it out. And if I thought I looked weird, I would have quit, but who cares? Who cares? Right? If you are enjoying yourself and you are going at it wholeheartedly, who gives a frick about what anyone thinks about you, right? So do not be afraid to try new things and do not be afraid to fail at those things because inevitably that might happen. You might get it on the first go and you might just be phenomenal, but you also might fail on the first try, and that's okay. Get up, do it again, figure out something that will work, even if it's just temporary, and go out and do it again. Like, there is literally nothing holding you back, and there's no one saying that you can't do this because you're an amputee. And so that's just like such a cool thing, that like we can still do anything and everything that two-leggers do, right? It might look different, it might be different, but we are doing it. We are here. We are putting in the effort and the time and the heart, and we are here every single day doing it. So try new things, try a new sport, try a new hobby, and just don't, I know it's so much easier said than done to like not care what people think. And, you know, I've struggled with that too, but like, you just really gotta be like in your own lane and own mindset, put your blinders on and just don't focus on anyone else except on you. So try new things. You might find something that you never knew that you loved, and it might give you the greatest feeling ever. You might make a bunch of friends from it, but you will never know until you have tried that and, you know, seen for yourself what it is. So that. The fifth thing and the last thing I would say is kind of like a two-parter. One, get involved with other amputees, meet other amputees or people that have your disability, whatever it may be. And then two, get a small group of friends that like support you, hype you up, all that stuff. So for the amputee thing, I would look into, you know, any kind of like support groups or pages or anything like that. So for me, you know, I have people I know from Challenge Athletes Foundation, which is great, and they do a lot of networking. I also know a lot of people from the Endeavor Games, which the Endeavor Games happen in Oklahoma, and it's basically like this weekend-long thing where there's all these different sports that you can try as an amputee. And it's really, really cool. And you always, you know, get to meet new amputees. You make friends with amputees, so you see them every year. And it is just so amazing to be able to go there and support one another and all that stuff. The more amputees or, you know, people with your disability that you know, the more things you're gonna learn, because, you know, they probably do stuff that you don't, or maybe you're interested in doing a sport and this person does it. You can learn so much from those kinds of people. Like for me, when I first started dressage, there was another girl that was also an above knee amputee, and she's the one that helped me figure out that I need a strap across my leg to help it stay in the saddle. She's the one that, you know, helped me figure all that out, and she helped me figure out how to do certain movements and how to do this. And so it is really great to be able to connect with her, because, you know, I wanted to do this sport and I was gonna figure it out, but I just didn't know how. But she did, and so she was able to help me. And so when you meet other amputees like that and in your sport, it's really amazing what can come of that, and like the friendship and stuff, just because, you know, you're both in it together trying to figure it out. And, you know, maybe you figure something out that, you know, she's been struggling with, so that way, you know, you can just help each other. So being able to network with other amputees, or, you know, whatever your disability is super amazing. And then the part two of that would to get a small group of friends that really support you and hype you up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, like, I have friends, but like the amount of people that I have like close to me and that like I actually like hang out with is very, very slim. Like, I think I can count them all on one hand. Like, and that's okay. You don't need, I mean, if you want it and need it, like, you know, go get like 100 friends that, you know, you can hang out with. But for me, you know, I've personally found it really hard to make friends, and that's probably just like a personality thing, but it also might be a leg thing. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, the friends I do hang out with and know and talk to on a daily basis, you know, they know me and they support me and they are encouraging, and, you know, they're just there for me. And having that kind of support group as a disabled person, I mean, it's just crucial to your overall well-being, just because, you know, if you're going at it alone, like, that's really tough mentally. And, you know, having support groups, like they could be inputting ideas, you could be inputting ideas, and so you just get to like talk with them, and just having someone to, you know, go to at the end of the day and be like, wow, today was really hard because this, and you know, they can support you in that, like, you are not in this alone at all. And just know that, like, there are people out there that, you know, want to be friends with you, want to help you, and that can. So that would probably be my last little tip, or what I use to help my confidence level. So anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this helped you in some way, whether you're an amputee or have some other kind of disability. I'm an amputee, so that's like the only thing I can like relate to and like with. But I hope this helped, and that you can take these tips and just really help yourself, because you know, that's all that really matters. Like, you need to focus on you. And if you focus on you, you will become the best version of you. And that's just, you know, that's so amazing. And so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, it's all right there. So yeah, go out there, be confident in who you are, whether you're disabled, not disabled, whatever. Like, go be you and do you to the fullest. Like, you got this. So I hope you guys have, I already said that, have a great week. Just start repeating myself. Anyways, bye.